Hi, my name is Cari, and I'm married to Chris. We have 4 sons. Well, I'm very much an introvert. My perfect day would be sitting at home, sewing, listening to an audiobook, and drinking tea. But then there was something in me as I'm reading the Bible, as I'm going about life, seeing the needs around me, that God put in my heart a love for people. And the phrase that he kept giving me was, this is not about you, this is about me. So I'd go through my day, okay, it's not about me, it's not about me. And God crafted in my heart something that allowed me to step out in faith to invite people into my home. A few years ago, I noticed that I wasn't really doing much to reach people for Christ. And so I decided I would find the people that are in my path every day. And so these were some of the moms in my neighborhood. These were some of the people at school that I crossed paths with dropping off kids. And so I invited a few of them to do kind of a book club. And they started coming, and we had great discussions. So that's where we started. Eventually, I wasn't home anymore. I decided to start working. And so then that led into ministering to the women that I work with. Once a month, I have a few women come over, and we have a meal together. We discuss 4 questions. Sometimes we share a verse, but we spend time discussing life. I invited several different women, and believe it or not, no one has said no. So people are very hungry to discuss faith. They're just hungry to go deeper in life. And so I was able to open up my home, serve them a meal. We talk about these different things. Sometimes we cry, sometimes we laugh. Actually, we do both every single time we meet. And then we just encourage each other in faith, and it's been very powerful for all of us. We moved into our neighborhood a number of years ago, and my oldest, who's now 15, he was 1, or just turned 1, and I met an elderly neighbor, Anna, and she was very rough around the edges. Kind of crude, but God gave me a love for her. And so over those 11 years, I would bring her a piece of cake, I would bring over, extra piece of pie, and just developed a relationship with her. And over those years, she called me with so many needs and so many heartaches. I was the first one she called when her sister passed away. And so she began to trust me, but anytime I would bring up God, she resisted. But those last couple years of her life, she became very ill, and I ended up cleaning for her at her house, and I brought meals over a few days a week. And during those times, we had more conversations about faith. There were a couple times where she was in the hospital and I visited her there. She just really wrestled with being forgiven. And she said, I don't know. She was so uncertain, and she said, I pray all the time and ask for forgiveness. And I said, Anna, you are forgiven, and God doesn't only just forgive, but he forgets those sins. So those are far away from you. He doesn't remember those. And I could see that burden lift from her, and she was able to finally be at peace with that. And it was just a couple weeks later that she did pass away. God loves everyone. God has a purpose for everyone, but not everybody knows it. So I feel that I can use my gifts, my abilities, in spite of my weaknesses, go and love my neighbor, love those that God has placed in my path, so that they get a glimpse of who God is. The love of Jesus can just flow through us.